Hello, my beautiful people. This is Anna Sharif again. So today I want us to talk about African parent raising a strong-willed child. A strong-willed child, a child that has a mind of its own, a child that knows exactly who they are, a child that knows exactly who he or she want to become. That child who always have an opinion, the child who always want to tell you who they are, but we never listen because the African in us will not let us listen. Those are strong-willed children. Those children that we refer to as rude, stubborn, defiant. Those are the strong-willed children. They always have an opinion. They always have something to say. They know exactly what they want. And all they want in life is for us parents to understand them instead of labeling them as being defiant or as being stubborn, as being rude. Allow them to talk to you, understand them, and then you know exactly where they are coming from. But one thing I've realized as a mom myself and as an African or as Africans, we take things personal, even when it comes to our children, because sometimes when these kids want to tell us what they want, when these kids want to tell us who they want to become, we call them rude. We say they don't want to listen to us. I grew up a strong-willed child, and I was blessed enough to have a mother who never imposed herself on my sister and myself. We chose the path that we are on right now. So we are blessed. We were blessed to have a mom like that. But most children are not. Most kids are not blessed enough to have a parent who have a forgiving spirit, a parent, who can allow their children to go out there and come back. Most children are not fortunate to have those type of parents. I know it's difficult. It's very difficult to raise a strong-willed child. And one day my mom told me, if I not be born here, if I don't die, things like that. She made that comment because I know I grew up not doing what, I wanted to do. And luckily for us, our mom was okay. She never imposed herself on us. But as African parents, we really impose ourselves on our children. I almost did that with my son, because my son also, I see the trait in him. He doesn't argue, but you can tell if I say something, it comes here and out of here. And he'll do it whenever he feels like. I used to get upset about it, but then I realized that it is just him. Now that I've understood him, we don't fight anymore. I'm not screaming or yelling at him anymore because I used to do that. I can boldly say that, and that is something I've worked on to stop doing, and I've stopped doing it because now I've realized he's grown up and he will do whatever he wants to do. But when we have this strong-willed child who has an opinion about everything, about themselves, we just have to find time to listen to them, let them speak, let them tell you what they want. And then when you are able to do that as a parent, things works out. The house will not be that chaotic because the child is always going to want to tell you what they want to do. The problem where we as parents have is when we fail to listen to this particular group of children and we start labeling them as being rude, defiant, and stubborn. That is when we have chaotic homes. That is when we have a child who don't want to belong, a child who don't want to be in that particular home. And that is when you have a child who comes to you and said, Mom, Dad, I want to move out because I feel like, I'm suffocating in this house. Some children will tell you they are suffocating in their own home because we want them to be lawyers, we want them to be doctors, we want them to be engineers, we want them to be everything that we ourselves have not become. And we need to come to the realization, if your child comes to you, I'm not saying you who kick your child out, who ask your children to go out there. And even if you did, that child want to come back. Today, my advice here is allow them to come back. Why? Because they have learned their lesson. Sometimes some of these children are going to come to you and say, I want to move out because I feel like I'm suffocating in this particular home. I want to go out there and live my own life and learn my own lessons. And sometimes African parents, we are too clingy. We don't want to leave our children. My advice is if they come to you and say they want to go, let them go. Because they're going to go out there and learn a lesson. And they're going to realize that being a grown-up is not easy. Because now they're out there paying bills, paying rent, buying their own food, buying their own clothing. You know, everything that adults do, now they're doing. And some will come to the realization and say, I don't want to grow up so fast. Being an adult is so hard. We've had kids who go and come back. I know this young man who left. He wanted to go out there and explore. He went there. He moved out and moved in with his friends. Started paying bills, rent, and all those things. And finally realized he couldn't afford it. Why? Because now you have to go look for another job. And even if you're working any one job or two jobs, sometimes it's not enough. Because if you work at McDonald's, you have to pay your own rent. No friend of theirs is going to allow them to live with them for free. None. I can guarantee you that. I have an example for that. I have one in my home. So do you see that? So allow them to go. But when they learn that lesson, when they realize that being an adult is not easy, growing up is not easy, allow them to come back. Open the door for them. Use that as a great opportunity to teach them what you've always wanted to teach them. Let them be good. You as a parent, you got to be able to leave a door open for any child, a strong-willed child, any child who goes out there, who want to go explore and want to come back. As parent, we need to be able to leave that door open. When they come back, we should be able to teach them. We use that as a learning process. And these kids will come back and tell you things you've never even heard about. They have learned their lesson. They will tell you how they were paying bills, what happened to them, what did not happen to them. Everything in the Bible, they will tell you. Every experiences of theirs, they will come and tell you. Things you don't even know about them, now you will know. As long as you are willing to open that door for them to come back in. But some of us African parents, like I said, we take things so personal, even with our kids. When these kids want to come back, we use that as punishment and tell them, oh, you know what, come back. You know what, come back. Why? Because you be one gonna, and you be one gonna street. Now go there, stay there. No. Use that as an opportunity to let them back in and teach them. Now allow them to grow. Guide them. You are still not going to impose yourself on them. You're just going to guide them because now they have become an adult. The time period that they left your home, they have become an adult because now they did what adults did, paying bills, paying rent, buying clothing, buying their own food, water, everything that they could buy. All you got to do now is guide them. So that is my advice today. Allow your children who want to go explore. They are not being disrespectful. They just want to go learn their own lessons and come back. But the mistake most of us do is when these children want to come back, we don't allow them to come back. My advice to you guys today is allow them to come back. Use that as a teaching process, a learning process. And teach these children to grow, to be who you or they want to be. So thank you everybody for watching.